Hello and welcome to the Final Cut Half Cut with me, Jason Winter, and my budding co-host.
I'm Nick.
Hi Nick. Hello mate. I'm alright. I'm okay.
Cool.
Ticking over. I would give it a 5.5 out of 10. I've damaged my shoulder and neck, so it's basically I've got whiplash at the moment, so it's a bit painful.
Sounds hot.
But yeah, you've got some flowing locks now, Nick, and you got that hair is getting properly long.
Yeah, it's getting long. I want people to, look at me and they go, I don't know if this guy's homeless or if he's in a band.
Yeah.
That's the sort of vibe I'm going for.
Can you play any instruments?
No, I'm incredibly untalented.
Ah.
Although a guy did ask me if I skateboarded
a
while back, and I've never been so flattered and insulted at the same time for a question.
I remember.
It's a very strange feeling where I'm like, how dare you, but thanks.
Yeah.
It's a very nice thing to say to someone.
I remember some of my mates.
You look like you think you're young. That's the sort of
vibe
that question is.
It's like culturally, yeah, I know what you mean.
Like, do you still skateboard?
Yeah.
It's like, didn't skateboard in the first place, thanks.
My mates, when they were like 14, were walking down a main road. And bear in mind they're 14. Just because they had long hair, some guy wound down the window, shouting out of his car, "Get a fucking job!" It's just like 14 with long hair. What's the length of your hair have to do with? I understand the right wing assumption, but yeah, maybe you're a male hair model.
I'm not.
I know you're.
I'm a big fan. There should be no age limit to working.
Right.
Getting back in factories.
That's what I'm saying. Getting back, Oliver Twist, back up the chimney. There you go. Back in the workhouses. No, you cannot add some more.
Great again.
By
going back to.
But do you want?
Chimneys
Are those children having short back and sides, buzz cuts, or are you stealing all of their hair and adding it to you?
Like that isn't the go-to cut at the moment.
Okay. That makes sense. Cool. Right. Well, so I suppose we should talk about what we've been watching recently in lockdown. I've been watching a horrendous amount of stuff, which has informed what I'm gonna make the topic or topics of today. So, what you been watching, mate?
I've not been watching much. I've been playing a lot, but I don't really think that's interesting.
Do you have a new Xbox?
Nah, fuck it, I'm not made money.
Oh, right, okay.
Nah, God, no, I'm gonna wait for that shit to be cheap.
Yeah, Black Friday coming up.
I still don't know why we follow that.
I know, it's bad, isn't it? Like, I think
no one gets trampled to death, so it's barely.
Hashtag shop local, hashtag shop ethical, hashtag Bumblebee. Only joking. The other beers are available, like Peroni or Foster's or Stella, which is sponsoring today's particular show.
Yeah. Thank you, Stella.
Thank you, Peroni, for all your years of loyalty to me.
Stella, not just for wife beaters anymore.
Yeah, well,
now it's European.
Talking of wife beaters, the news this week: Johnny Depp has been sacked as Grindelwald on Fantastic Beasts.
I know.
And I'll get on to what we've been watching in a second, because the news is not much news. Michael Bay's making a film with Jake Gyllenhaal, which, if you care about films, you should fucking care about. That was the best hobby or best moment when I first started studying film studies, was how like everybody turned up, and obviously film students, you're a bit pretentious. Yeah,
a bit.
I mean, I used to go into university in a suit. In a suit. What a cunt.
Do you have a briefcase?
No, but it was bad. And I mean, if you're 19 wearing a blazer to a creative writing lecture where you're writing poetry, you know, like that is the opposite of the unemployed student that needs to go get a job. Like that is you're trying too hard, mate. Like,
that is, I'm going to be a student for my entire life.
I am preppy, and I want all the girls to think that I'm smarter than I am, so I'm going to wear this blazer.
Massively, because that makes girls not into you. If you're the one guy in a suit,
yeah,
in the university
I would say I was derided as much as I was applauded for it.
Nice.
I'd say it was like the impact was, good in certain ways, getting you noticed. Other ways, obviously, people think you're a wanker.
Well, being known as the suit guy isn't the worst thing you could be known as.
Yeah, there were other things. Anyway, I don't want to go in. This is not a therapy session about my past. But anyway, so so news this week:
Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp. Yeah, that was the thing. So all students and the lecturers going like, "Oh yeah, by the way, if you like Michael Bay, get the fuck out." And
Well,
I
the
love
thing
that.
about Michael Bay's like in the Citron collection a lot because he's actually technically a very, very good director.
Yeah.
Like in terms
He
of like
makes-
shots and editing, he's actually like the top tier.
Yeah.
It's just he makes like shit stories.
Yeah.
That's what he's been. He's like
We're not
film-wise-
talking. Hang on.
Film-wise, he's amazing. It's just
Yeah. Are you going to be seeing The Ambulance with Jake Gyllenhaal? And
I haven't watched a Michael Bay film in years. Man.
good. That's all right.
Other than The Rock.
Yeah, no, that's good. Obviously, R.I.P. Sean Connery, which I think we covered last time, but that is a decent film. I always loved the whole story that the actual invasion of Iraq was happened about because one of Tony Blair's advisors submitted a synopsis to the scene where you see the chemical weapons in the rock, and and an intelligence specialist looked at it and was like, but they don't fucking keep in real life. They don't keep chemical weapons in glass vials dangling from the ceiling. It's like this is the plot from The Rock with Sean Connery and Nicolas Cage. Million people died in Iraq. So anyway, that actually happened.
That their blood is on your hands.
Yeah.
Michael Bay.
Yeah, and think about the countless hours of children's lives that he's wasted. Like, he's a murderer. Look, I didn't come here to discuss Michael Bay, but yeah. So there's news of this thing, and
Yeah, we're here to talk about possible domestic abuse of Johnny Depp.
yeah, no, Johnny Depp. No, whatever about Johnny Depp's personal life, but he's been sacked by Warner Brothers, and apparently Mads Mikkelsen of James Bond and Hannibal fame,
And Death Stranding.
and he's the face of Carlsberg.
He is
So
the
he's
face of
very, very apt actor to talk about in the final
He
cut,
was,
half
I
cut.
think he's been Denmark's sexiest man like the last 7 years in a row or something.
How can anyone beat him?
I'm trying to think of another.
He's
Danish man.
equal parts scary and sexy. Do you know what I mean? You look at him, you don't know whether or not he wants to fight you or fuck you.
Is Christian Eriksen Denmark? Is he Danish?
I don't know.
I think he might be. If so, still
We
not
can
as,
look up-
still not as good as Mads.
Yeah, Mads.
Mads.
I'm a big Mads fan. I particularly
Are
like.
you mad for Mads?
I'm mad for Mads. Yeah,
Yes.
Mads. That's hard. That's almost as bad as my spook dog thing from last week. That's...
Yeah.
Anyway, we don't go back.
Always looking forward.
Yeah. So Mads Mikkelsen in Harry Potter. I just want to watch it to like imagine that he's actually murdering and eating the children in the stories, because
Well,
not a Harry Potter fan, by the way.
you're
People,
not a
sorry.
Harry Potter fan. Well, in
No.
the canon,
Yeah.
Dumbledore and Grindelwald are lovers.
No.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. No, that is their entire. That's the entire thing. of
Right.
That is the entire point of that story.
Is that been covered in the first and second film in Fantastic Beasts?
Yeah, it's an all
Oh, right,
because
okay.
he gives them a ring, being like, "We made a pact that we can't hurt each other because we have this." I think it's a ring.
Yeah,
so
I bet it is.
this might. So
Let me guess, it gets broken.
I can't remember. It's been a while since I watched that. All I remember about that film is that Grindelwald wants to stop the Holocaust, and
Right.
we're supposed to hate him. But I'm like, yeah, he's got a point. That should be stopped.
Doesn't sound unreasonable.
I don't know. I'm like, you got a point.
Yeah.
But so Grindelwald and Dumbledore are lovers, which means there's a possibility of a Jude Law, Mads Mikkelsen sex scene.
Oh dear.
Which-
I mean, good luck to
I'm
him.
going to pay top dollar for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's the? I mean,
Well, they're wizards, so both of them can be top at the same time. They could just create polyjuice potions for give them to different people, and they. So you give a bottom like a polyjuice potion of Mads, and then Dumbledore can take him, and then they give a polyjuice potion to another
mate.
bottom, and then Mads can take that.
Brilliant. Yeah. You haven't thought about it. That's like extremely. It's Harry Potter
I've got
fans
a deviant up.
listening, going that logistically, yeah.
As well, that
I
makes
get
sense.
that. It's got nuance to it. You know, it's explainable and it's understandable in a magic realist sense of like how they could make love.
Yeah.
I want to see that. If there's one way to redeem Harry Potter for me, it's give me hardcore.
It's a hardcore scene between Jude Law and Mads Mikkelsen.
Yes. Hannibal meets Alfie.
Sherlock Holmes.
Or Sherlock. No, did he?
He's
play
Watson. He
Watson?
played Watson.
Played Watson. Yeah. I don't like Sherlock Holmes either. I like the books, but the amount of Sherlock Holmes
You
we've
don't
had.
like the Guy Ritchie films?
Nope. No, I don't think that's very good. I don't think, Robert Downey Jr. gets to be Iron Man, Sherlock Holmes, and Doctor Dolittle.
Yeah.
No, he don't.
You can't be all three of those supermen.
Yeah. Only in his drug-fueled 90s hallucinations did he probably imagine that he would be all... No. Good luck to you, mate. He made $36 million in, 2016. So,
yeah, good.
He's made solid 30 to 40 million for every year during the whole Avengers thing. So now he's probably thinking, shit, I'll retire. I don't know. We've gone off piece with the whole thing. Yeah, anyway, news. Mads Mikkelsen is going to beat Grindelwald. I like Mads Mikkelsen. I don't like Harry Potter. Make of that what you will. But hopefully there's some kind of middle ground here. Are you a Fantastic Beasts fan? You've seen it then?
Yeah, I've seen them. The first one's alright, the second one's kind of shit.
Well,
that's all that's for a later podcast.
Yes.
With a guest, maybe.
Yes, perhaps.
If he returns my phone call.
Yeah, if we can logistically get him round. Because I think guest is a fan, isn't he? And he knows a lot about it.
When I told him that that you didn't like it, he said he's going to smack you.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter if he's going to smack me or not, because it does that doesn't maintain the argument. Like it is Witches and Wizards meets the Fantastic Five, and although it's a commercially successful franchise, there is no structural or evidence, like if we were to go to court over it, in the content of this franchise that can change my mind. Because I don't hate things. I'm like Mr. Burns, right? When he goes, I know what I hate, and I don't hate this. I have to know what it's about. I have to have seen. I've seen all the Harry Potters. I hate it because it was forced upon. It's like X Factor. If I put X Factor on right now for 3 hours, and you go, I'm not really into it. It's not the actual thing. It's the way it was forced upon me at a certain point in time.
I don't know. I could say you could hate the concept of the X Factor just by itself.
I do hate the X Factor as well. But this isn't a show about everything I hate.
That's for the other podcast.
Yeah, that's for the other podcast.
Called Things I Hate.
Things
it's just
I
you.
hate. No, it's mainly probably because I've got into a hole of going to bed at 6 o'clock in the morning because I decided the other night, after watching a load of trash on TV, at 4 o'clock in the morning I would purchase Commando and watch it and stayed up until morning.
To be fair, it's not a bad way.
It was good. It was good, but I'm regretting it now. It's been a few days. And I'm tired. I'm grouchy, and I'm taking it out on Harry Potter.
Do you know? I think that is something that there's probably a law where it's every person has at least spent one night just watching Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I hope so. And if you haven't,
because I definitely spent a time watching I'm just going to watch 10 films of his.
Yeah. Gratuitous bottle opening. You ACMR fans. Is it ACMR?
ASMR.
Oh man, don't know what ACMR is.
AC.
I don't know. Let's not worry about that. But
AC Slater.
ASMR. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
No, I've seen that on certain websites. Anyway. So that's what I've been up to. Oh yeah, and the reason why I bring up Mads Mikkelsen and I want to talk a bit about Ip Man is because a new Ip Man dropped this week, and my weird connection with it all is I didn't think I'd seen Star Wars Rogue One. Now obviously that's got Mads in, that's got Ip Man, Donnie Yen in. So weirdly, watched that film. Then the next day they said, Mads Mikkelsen might be in
Fantastic Beasts.
And then the day after that, new Ip Man dropped, and I thought, poor old Donnie Yen, he gets killed in fucking Rogue One. That franchise character could have gone somewhere, dollar bills, in the sequel. Oh no, he gets murdered. Then, imagine, a couple of years later, when it's locked down...
in Rogue One, they do, if you watch it, you know they all die, though, in Rogue One.
If you know anything about Star Wars, yeah, obviously.
Yeah, you know they all die.
Yeah, but I don't think little kids watching it would have known that, but it's not for them. And also, it's average, apart from the last 4 minutes where you've got
I think it
Darth
might
Vader
be,
fucking
not Vader's a Star Wars one, but I think that might be my favourite Star Wars. Purely for that last half hour.
Yeah.
That half an hour is fucking dope.
Yeah, I mean, particularly the last 5 minutes of Darth Vader rocking up and
Also,
killing everyone.
there's like no Jedi, which is good. I fucking hate Jedis.
But you're like, that's like saying, oh, I like Christianity, don't like priests very much. Like, we all know why, but
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, no, Jedis are the worst part of Star Wars.
Yeah.
It's so boring.
All right. Well, did you know in the Lego Star Wars one? I tried watching it, but I couldn't find it on Disney Plus. I don't know why. But apparently, like the Lego Star Wars Clone Wars series is like now the heart of all Star Wars storytelling. So like basically they develop it there, a bit like with the animated films with DC that I've been begging you to watch for.
Yeah, I've watched a few.
Now an entire year.
I've watched a few.
Okay, and anyway, the point is that like they're using the Lego Star Wars thing as the springboard. So there's a really interesting character. I can't remember his name is, but he's Darth Maul's brother, and he's like the scrawny, brainy version of Darth Maul. But then these Force witches, and there's Force witches in this thing, so like they're the opposite of Jedi's, and they experiment on him, and they basically turn him into like a Star Wars Bane. So he's like ridiculously hench and gets like in with the fucking dark side, and it just sounds awesome. And he's like super green. And I think he's going to be a character in the later actual films. Because it sounds like they put a lot.
Are you
of
sure
effort
it's
into
just
it.
not just the Clone Wars? The Clone Wars have loads of seasons.
Wait, maybe that's it.
Because the Clone Wars is really good.
Right, so it's Clone Wars. It's not Lego.
It's
Star
not
Wars
Lego Clone Wars.
It's just Clone Wars.
Star Wars Clone Wars is really good.
Might.
Because that makes Darth Maul like a fucking good character.
Yes, like this is what is. Yeah, that's what it's leading.
That's
on
like
from.
the best part of the prequels is that show.
All right, I'll watch that show. That's the show I'm talking about. I read a thing, and you know more about it than me.
So welcome to the Star Wars episode.
Yeah, no, we're not doing a Star Wars episode. We are doing a bit on SpongeBob SquarePants, and then I want to talk about Ip Man and voice actors in general. I've got a little quiz for Nick, known as the Billy Zane. Did you just assume my gender quiz for voice acting? So, like, your favourite characters, did you know if they were a man or a woman? We will put Nick's knowledge and, I suppose, intuition to the test. So good luck with that later on. So I watched Commando, I watched Star Wars, and then the other day, I was like, what? There's a new SpongeBob SquarePants film? And I was like, oh, I'm not going to watch it. And then I saw the trailer, and the trailer has Keanu Reeves as a sage in it, who's made out of sage, which is just instantly quite amazing.
Well, because he was a tumbleweed.
Yeah, he's a tumbleweed, but like, yeah, he's like this sage. And so basically, SpongeBob SquarePants movie, there's been several, haven't there? There was two before.
There's the first one that has Scarlett Johansson in it.
Right, yeah.
And that's the one with he's in Baywatch.
Yes, David Hasselhoff.
David
The
Hasselhoff.
Hoff.
Yes, the Hoff. There's
Come
that
and
one.
jump in my car.
There's that one which is I'm a Goofy Goober,
Mm-hmm.
which I watched. I did not watch the second one, but I have watched this one.
Right.
Yes.
So if you haven't seen it or haven't heard about it, it ostensibly is about SpongeBob. Gary goes missing. His pet snail. If you're not aware,
No, he doesn't go missing. Gets kidnapped.
he gets kidnapped. Yeah.
By Matthew Berry.
Yeah, Matt Berry's in it as the Poseidon, which is
Yeah, I
really
know.
quite like the voice acting in it, like, and the choice of people they got as a British audience. Obviously, you know the very famous people that are in it because they're the biggest stars in the world. But there's also like a few British people in it, like Matt
There's
Berry's
Matt
the
Berry.
biggest. Yeah.
There's Tiffany Haddish.
Yeah.
Tiffany Haddock.
Oh yes.
The robot I recognise because it's Aquafina.
I think so.
Who's surprisingly good at voice acting. I didn't know.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, there's like, well, SpongeBob's always had like a history of like getting surprisingly like real actors on it.
Yeah. I
Because if
mean,
you look at the people who have guest appearances, like David Bowie's been in an episode of SpongeBob.
yeah.
It's like it's insane.
Yeah,
Right.
it's a big deal, and it's the fifth longest running children's animated series.
Yeah.
Did you know? Look that one up.
Someone was on Wikipedia.
I know. So yeah, and I didn't realise, unfortunately. So I knew the film was advertised, and in back of my head, I was like, "Hang on, didn't someone very important in SpongeBob world die?" And what because then at the end of the film, we won't go into great detail about all of the thing because I don't want to ruin it for people because it's just a fun hour and a half. And it was the creator, Steven Hillenburg, died 2 years ago of ALS, which, if you remember, there was this big viral movement, the ALS challenge. I think it was a bucket challenge, wasn't it? Yeah, viral challenge, and I assume it doesn't say here, but I assume like given how big in Hollywood he was, and with this he was partly to do with that kind of movement and to bring awareness to it. But it's a great tragedy. He was he was a marine science educator, and he made SpongeBob SquarePants in order to kind of like highlight marine life and stuff like that. So, he clearly wasn't a bad guy. Doesn't really deserve.
Seemed like a solid dude.
Yeah.
Big part of my childhood, SpongeBob. So
Yeah. And so R.I.P. mate. And it just sort of came up at the end, and I was like, oh, that kind of blinded me. Like, so and I googled it, and I was like, oh, that's a bit of a shame. But the film itself was a real good bit of fun. I've got to talk about my favourite 10 minutes of it, which is just the Keanu Snoop Dogg Treyu moment. Like, that is the best part of the film.
Firstly, when I saw Keanu Reeves, I thought he was going to be in like that scene and that's it. I didn't know he was going to be like
in the whole film.
Yeah, I assumed it was like that for the dream sequence. He'd be there and then never see him again. Then it's like, oh, he's in the next scene. Oh, he's in the next scene. I was like, so Keanu Reeves is actually a
major character
in this film.
Yeah, and because he's a great. I mean, Keanu Reeves, absolutely love him for mostly Neo, also Speed, also
Cyberpunk.
Yeah, Bill and Ted,
which isn't coming out anytime soon.
What's that?
It's a video game.
Oh, okay. Oh, yes, I've heard about that, where he's voicing one of the main characters.
Yeah, he voices he's like a dead guy, but he's in your head.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about it because I'll be here for like 3 hours just complaining about.
You need to do your own gaming podcast, it seems.
Never.
I'd help you, but I know less about games than I do about films.
Yeah, I know a lot about games.
I know about Mario.
Listen, I know a lot about games, and even I don't want to hear myself talk about it.
Yeah, I know. I can tell. As soon as you start talking about it, it makes my eyes itch.
Yeah.
And I'm joking. So that bit with. So it's just a ridiculous moment where Keanu Reeves is this sage. He tells them to go in this zombie cowboy saloon. They walk in there. There's all these zombie cowboys, and then
there's a music.
It's Danny Trejo. Am I saying it right?
Danny
Trejo. Yeah. Trejo.
Well, he shows up after the Snoop Dogg rap.
Yeah. So Snoop Dogg introduces Danny Trejo, and then Danny Trejo is the zombie king, and it's all just ridiculous. But it's just really nice.
Yeah.
I don't know, but what do you think of the aesthetics? Obviously, they changed the aesthetic to a 3D mishmash. Sometimes they use the illustrations from far away. Obviously some.
Well, I do have my problems with it. I don't think it's particularly good.
Do you want to just give us what's your opinion on the film?
If I wasn't such, there are films that I'll admit aren't good. I don't think this is good, but because SpongeBob SquarePants is such a big part of my childhood, I do have a massive soft spot for it.
Yeah.
So it's not. I liked it way more. If this was just a film that had been produced that had no affiliation with anything else, I'd say it's shit.
Right.
Well, not even shit. I'd say it's not good. But because
you think it's self-indulgent then?
No, not saying that. I just don't think it's particularly good.
Why?
Well, firstly, okay, so this completely ignores the mythology of SpongeBob. That is something I have to talk about.
Right. Okay. So I have to admit, before you get into it, I have seen a lot of SpongeBob episodes of the cartoons, but I haven't seen all of them. I'm not someone that's a SpongeBob super fan. I'm a casual observer. I had a heartfelt moment going, oh, the creator's passed away, and this is a nice sort of sentimental film tribute to him, I suppose, and to the franchise in general. But to go into more detail, what are your thoughts on that then?
Yeah, well, because I watched it a lot when I was a kid. It was one of the few shows. I watched it when I was too old to watch it because it was a funny show.
Yeah.
It's not funny anymore because things get old. But then again, it's not ruined, for me anymore. It's not for me.
Yeah.
It's awards for kids, and it just hasn't been well written. It's not a good film, really, but because I've got a massive soft spot for SpongeBob, I will go it's not bad.
You allowed it more.
I allowed a lot more to go not great and be it's fine. I'm a big fan of the Exorcist reference in this film.
I can't remember that.
When he's in the suit of armor and his head, and he does the crab walk and his head spins.
Oh yeah,
that was pretty cool. I did enjoy. I was never oh god, how much fucking longer do I have this? I was it's not good, but I'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
But yeah, this also in the mythology, in this film he meets Sandy when they're kids in the summer camp, when they're kids. That is not what happens in the show. They meet when they're adults.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, that's not how it works.
Yeah, no, I did recall that I was sort of thinking, like, really, Squidward would have had known these two people for his entire life.
Yeah, I always read it as a just naive.
I feel like by the time he was 15, he would have killed himself. Like,
Exactly.
but no, as a nice little tribute and a fun hour and a half. That's not, that's got some funny moments. It passes, like Mark Kermode said. You get about 5 laughs out of the film.
I got a lot more than 5 laughs.
Yeah. But I think also the reason why it doesn't work as a film is there's no real climax or threat. They just turn up at the casino at the end, have a conversation, and then the film's over.
But no, but they get locked up in prison. They're about to be executed. But then all his friends come up and rescue him.
Perhaps to me that's not that's not good enough. No, I just wanted more adventure, more action, like an action.
They do just show
climax.
up. They don't have a journey to
they
Atlanta.
need
They
to
just because it's the lost city of Atlantis.
Yeah,
and they just show up there, and it's not like, oh, we got to get there and we go through all these journeys.
Yeah, I
it's
feel
like they
could've...
sleep through the entire journey and have a dream and they're there.
Yeah, and also I just think they should have added to the story the what's the word I'm looking for? The struggle of his friends in order to get to that point, and also the resistance of the of King Poseidon and all of that. Just like have some big action climax scene, and then it would feel like a full movie. Whereas this felt like, with some of the Netflix fare, I feel like it's okay to have a smaller budget because it's just going on Netflix, and I'm like, yeah, but I want the full. If I'm having a roast dinner, mate, don't tell me I can only have like 2 or 3 potatoes. That's all I'm saying. If I want 4 Yorkshire puddings, I'll have 4 Yorkshire puddings. And that's kind of like the, with coronavirus and with the whole. Because interestingly, I thought SpongeBob was a really good film, but watching Rogue One on Disney Plus on my telly, I think it's a bit boring. I only think that literally the last 10 minutes was okay. And I found it emotionally completely cold. And I was just like, well, like, I don't think the gravitas of Star Wars films, unless you've got at least a 50-inch telly, and that's a 37-inch telly, like, I don't think you can really, like, you want to, and I'm like, it's lockdown, mate. I ain't feeling like that. But maybe, I don't know, there could be a cultural shift in the way stories are told and the screens that they are told on, and how, obviously, with the iPhone generation that we've got now, we know, like, people like fucking, who was it? Scorsese? Yeah, I think Scorsese or someone said, like, stop watching films on your fucking iPhone. Because it's not right, people. If that's you, you're scum. And
I like that you're saying it to your screen.
I'm saying it into a mirror.
Yeah, you're not saying that into the recording
myself.
Device. You're saying that to the thing that.
Yeah, I'm on a Chase Long as well, by the way, and Nick is taking notes. So we're divided on SpongeBob then.
Oh, do you not like it?
I liked it.
I liked it. I don't think it's particularly good, but I enjoyed it.
All right. Well, yeah. What are you most a fan of that is the shittest film? What's your guiltiest pleasure?
You've kind of thrown that on me.
Sorry, yeah, no, I was just thinking it.
Well, I don't know. I mean, basically every film I like is awful in a way. Reanimate is kind of trash.
Yeah, you always mention that
I
one.
love that film so
I know
much.
You do.
Battle Royale's kind of trash.
Well,
I love
yeah.
that film. The Beyond, From Beyond.
What do I?
Zombie 2.
Yeah,
none of these films are good,
shit.
but I enjoy all these films.
I'm trying to think.
For me, a good film is kind of boring.
Right.
I've said before, like Nolan. Not Nolan films are really good, and that kind of bores me. I need a film that's kind of schlock.
You there's some bloke out recently with a song called "Perfectly Imperfect." That's your kind of film.
Oh my god, I hate that title.
Yeah, it's really
awful.
It's annoying, isn't it?
Yeah. But then again, I like the music I like is awful. So I feel like that is something that is just with me in general. Like, I don't like things that are good. I like things that are interesting
Well,
more than anything.
that's why I appreciate you doing this podcast and being my friend. 'Cause
Yeah.
clearly, I'm an awful person. This is a terrible
But you're
podcast.
interesting. You've got
Yeah.
something about it.
Yeah, there's a quirk. You're quirky.
I listen to
You're
like
quirky.
the music I listen to like a lot of thrash metal. Like it's not good at all.
I like a bit of Rain in Blood, on a Monday.
Chat Slayer.
Yeah,
But it's not good. That will never get played.
it's technically impressive.
No.
I've got to stop doing musical interludes.
That sounded like the Western song when like a cowboy's up.
You know, it goes. No, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know, but that's what it sounds like you were going into.
You know the song. I'm not that off. I might be square. I'm not as cool as you. There you go. Yeah, they've all heard it. Other thrash metal bands are available.
Anthrax, Metallica,
Yeah.
Megadeth.
This is not a metal podcast, right? And
Should be.
I'm sure, although ironically, there is that famous
Beerstein.
SpongeBob death metal scream meme, isn't there? GIF thing.
Yeah,
It's in the video.
I think that was it.
We've got different memes. People, he didn't know that Alex Zane, Titanic.
Billy
Billy
Zane was the host of Rude Tube.
Oh yeah! Oh no!
Yeah, that's a deep
right.
cut
Podcast
as well.
over.
That's a deep
Fuck
cut.
this. He's the worst voice-over person as well, because when he's doing RudeTube, he does like some of the lamest fucking one-liners I've ever heard in my life.
But you know they're holding him back. Like he wants to drop some bars of truth, but
Bullshit.
they're like, nah, Billy's
Alex Zane. Billy
Alex
Zane
Zane.
is fine. Billy.
I love Billy Zane. I'm a Zaniac.
What is Billy Zane doing now?
He was in the Boy. He was in I saw him in The Boys
All right.
season 1, but he's in there for like 10 seconds as
Alright.
Billy Zane.
Yeah.
He was in Zoolander.
Yeah, but that was 20 years ago.
Again as Billy Zane.
Mm-hmm.
He's in the Scorpion King 3.
Fuck's sake! Stop mentioning the Scorpion King, man. There's one. I haven't seen any of them.
Oh, I've seen the first
I've not
one.
seen any of the mummy ones. No, I don't want to watch it. I don't like the fake gold lighting, right?
Like everyone it's
gold.
It's very gold.
Yeah, everything's gold all the time, right? And I think it's the ethnic aesthetic opposite, like trying to make everything look opulent and shiny and great, to the orange scale, dirty scale of all Mexican towns. Do you know what I mean? Like when they do that thing. Rio
it's
de
like so when they
Janeiro.
go like, okay, we're in Mexico. How
Michael Bay
we're in
fucking
Mexico.
does it, and it's all yellow and green. Like it's all like,
it's like a
everyone's
tint, there's a tint
dirty.
on
Yeah,
the,
yeah,
on the thing
yeah.
where it's like, how do we know?
Yeah,
how
that
do we know
one.
we're in South America? Put an orange tint on it.
Yeah. Or like in Iraq, and it's like, and they're
Put an
going
orange tint
about.
on it.
Yeah, fuck's sake! Like they're literally browning up the cinema itself. Like there is structural
That can be
racism.
taken very bad.
There's structural
they're browning up
racism.
cinema.
No, but they no. I'm all,
No, but that's
I'm
what it
all for
sounds like.
diversity. What I mean is that right. So like in film studies, there's like the male gaze. Yeah, the inherent perspective of Hollywood is all from a male. Like the classic trope is your main actor, your main character of any script before you have consciously decided to be like, I'm writing a black film, I'm writing a feminist film, I'm writing a minority film, or whatever, is...
I'm writing Party Monster.
Well, yeah, but like, so it's like inherently, unconsciously, we all collectively, as the way we've been conditioned, is to go, it's going to be a white, straight, male person that's the lead, yeah? So like what I mean by that, when we see a Michael Bay shot of a town in South America or the Middle East, is that literally by changing the camera tone, like famously, like the Matrix has that green tone in the Matrix, so that everything looks slightly artificial, slightly synthetic, and then all the colours and the aesthetic of the real world is all natural, isn't it? They've got natural clothes. Do you know what I mean? So you were talking when we were talking about doing some writing, like you add that aesthetic narrative into the actual structure of what you see on the film, and so like that is, I'm gonna say it without joking, it is racist, and I don't like it. Stop actually like making those shots, please, because it ain't cool. Like it's not real. You techniques. You go, they're the terrorists or the bad guys. Like I get it, it's a trope, but don't do it. Hollywood. Naughty. Anyway, so yeah, So SpongeBob, good on the creator. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10 just because the Keanu Reeves to Snoop Dogg rapping to Danny Trejo. I didn't have a more enjoyable 12 minutes of my life than that, and I've been doing a lot of wanking. A lot.
Yeah, I mean, what else are you going to do?
Not a lot.
I liked it despite what it is.
Right.
The ending credits song kind of fucking slapped.
Did it? I can't remember.
It was J Balvin. It was the reggaeton song.
Mm.
It was kind of awesome.
Okay.
Where they sampled the. I thought that was actually fucking dope.
Yeah, I mean it's a nice tribute to the whole thing of SpongeBob, and that's what I liked about it. Is that, and also I've gone on a personal note, got to talk about the thing. Like obviously during lockdown and things, friendships and connections can be tested. Nick, I'm looking you deep in the eyes.
Yeah, for example, we're not friends anymore.
Exactly, and I just thought that the central narrative of being a good friend and being willing to express that was a nice, it's got a good central message, even though it's a simplistic narrative, and they did scoot over quite a bit of stuff I would have liked to have, added to the flavour of the film, added to the depth of the film, but. It is a SpongeBob SquarePants movie, so at the end of the day, I'll give them that. Yeah, so there you go. What would you give it out of 10, Nick?
5.
A 5.
An enjoyable 5.
An enjoyable 5. Yeah.
Like I enjoyed it. I liked it, but I can't say it's a good film.
Yeah, I think
it's one of those films.
It's a bit like a sauce that it's one of your favourite. Like it's a good familiar sauce, but this time around, it was just slightly too thin.
It's ketchup.
Yeah.
I like it, doesn't mean it's good.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it depends.
I know, but if you go if you tell Chef this is the best.
What's your favourite sauce out of all the sauces?
Garlic mayo.
Garlic mayo, that is a strong contender. Burger sauce. Burger sauce.
I don't like burger sauce.
Why not?
It's got chunks in it. I don't like
no, you don't know the one without the chunks.
It's ketchup and mayo.
Is it?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Pretty sure it is. That's just ketchup
What's
and mayo.
No, that's Thousand Island sauce, isn't it?
No, Thousand Island's got other shit in it.
How many, the logistics of having to get all the ingredients for a Thousand Island sauce must be quite a lot.
No, you got to go to an island.
Just once, I invented my own sauce, right? Because it's a sauce from a Thousand Islands. I'm pretty sure there's someone. I don't know who does that joke. Someone does a Thousand Island sauce joke. I can't remember who it is, but there's a Thousand Island sauce joke out there somewhere. Go on YouTube. Don't get off up. Listen to the rest of our podcast and then look that up.
Or just hit pause.
No, don't. This is this is binge. Listen to me. I mean us. I mean me and Nick. I once, just an aside. I know this isn't movie related, but once I tried to make. I didn't try. I did. I had this old recipe off my nan, which is a really tasty sauce that we'd have when we were kids. So I went to her one day and I went, Nat, give me the recipe for this sauce. And she said, okay. Bearing in mind, to cook up a normal batch, you saute some onions, right? Load of vinegar, about 4 tablespoons, yeah? Nice. Then 8 tablespoons of ketchup, 2 teaspoons of mustard, some sugar, some salt, what else? Oh, 4 heaped tablespoons of mango chutney and some other bollocks, right? Put it together. Realised if I wanted to make it a product, this product is made from 8 other products. So to make my sauce, I have to buy 7 other sauces and some onions. And I was like, this is a very expensive thing.
So you need to make your own ketchup.
Yeah.
Make your own vinegar.
Exactly. And it's long, man.
Yeah.
I won't get into it. You're the chef here, but it is expensive. You're YouTube.
That is not my job.
YouTube.
I'm employed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, my job is collecting disability.
Oh.
That's my current job at the moment for the last 5 years. Collecting disability.
What have you gone for disability wise?
Down syndrome.
Face or
yeah, I have Down syndrome.
Okay, no, don't say that. No, YouTube. We apologise to anybody is mentally challenged if you are listening. Well, I assume all of our subscribers are mentally challenged because that's the only reason why they're fucking listening to me. Well, no, you're all geniuses and thank you so much for picking such a wonderful channel. Yeah.
Shout out to Firmino.
Who's that?
He'll know the name.
Oh, right, okay.
He'll recognise it.
What have you got like a super fan?
No, just got a mate.
Oh, all right. Oh, that's decent. Yeah, fair enough. Thank you, mate. Appreciate it out there. Shout out to you. By the way, if you want to sponsor or get a shout out on any of our future podcasts, you can PayPal us a very small fee, anywhere from £5 up to as much money as you physically want to give us.
Anywhere from a £5?
Well, yeah, £5.
£5 is minimum.
I'll do a £5 a shout out, yeah.
Okay, we're not making any money if someone wants a shout out for this.
Well, you want to do a shout out for a £5?
Why do I want
So your shout out to your mate there's worth more than a £5?
No, it's worth nothing.
Why?
Because it's a shout out.
Oh, no, you don't get it, man. We've got to monetize this shit.
I wouldn't pay anything for a shout out.
You're unemployed. We need to be proper YouTubers now.
I am a proper YouTuber.
Well, we are going to be. We're going to get this on Spotify.
I'm not paying for a shout
iTunes.
out.
No, we don't pay them. They pay us. That's
exactly, but I told them I wouldn't pay for a shout out.
Would you not?
No, it's a shout out. I don't give a fuck.
Alright, well, we could do like proper like thank yous. Or we can do custom t-shirts.
That's better. Look, I'm not paying shit for a shout out.
Alright, fine. Alright, whatever. Nick doesn't want to exploit you all, so one of us.
Anyway, Star Wars.
Morals. Yes, I was watching Star Wars, the Mads Mikkelsen thing, thought about, oh yeah, what's he going to be like, blonde hair and that. And then, our boy Donnie Yen, who is the best character in the Rogue One film. So he just is. He is.
I like the robot.
The robots are alright, but the robot's been done.
Tudyk?
I don't know. I did look it up at the time, but I can't remember. But the point is that robots with a personality and sarcastic attitude, you might like that version, Nick, but that's been done. Donnie Yen in Star Wars is a big deal, alright? He's not cynically, he's your Chinese market right there, right? But also, or Asian market in general, right? But also, it's Donnie fucking Yen, blind, doing his Ip Man stuff to stormtroopers in Star Wars. That bit is cool. That bit, apart from the last 5 minutes with Darth Vader coming through like an absolute maniac. Like, because I like that they did that bit with Darth Vader, because Darth Vader back in the day, although he's got his Force grip thing, like obviously the choreography still wasn't up to scratch.
I do. My only way I think that film would have been much, much better.
Yeah.
Was if
more Darth Vader.
No,
yes.
way less.
What do you mean? Is it two bits of film?
No, exactly. No, imagine how good it would have been if the entire time you never see Darth Vader.
Yeah, no,
but at the very end, just like you've never seen him. All of a sudden, red lightsaber, Darth Vader appears.
They can't do that.
No, but that would have been a fucking hype moment.
You
never should have brought him in. Until the very last minute, and all of a sudden, holy shit.
I don't like how they tease it. Like, I don't like how it's just like, oh, well, there's a little bit of Vader. Like,
So they should have had no tease. All of a sudden, boom, there's Vader.
Yeah, okay, but give me more sustained. I want more violence, more rage, more.
I think it would have been really good if, like, they never talk. They mention him, but you never see him.
Alright.
Because you see him like a few times in the film.
But I feel like they achieved that.
I know, but it would have been better
without.
If they talk about it and go like, oh, Vader's very disappointed.
I thought.
And then the last scene, all of a sudden, holy fuck, Vader's here, fucking shit.
Yeah, but Rogue One is basically just about the bloke in the white cape. He's middle management, and he's just having a bad day at the office. Like, that's what all the film is about. It's like, you've been tasked with setting up this thing. Oh, that's what I was going to do, right? So obviously it's about the Death Star, and the Death Star is probably the best weapon / vehicle in movie history. But what other weapons or vehicles in movie history do you think come up to the coolness of the Death Star?
BFG.
Big Friendly Giant?
I think it's the big fusion gun. It's from Doom.
Oh, right.
It's big fucking gun.
Yeah.
I've gone to the film of Doom. It's big fucking gun.
I quite like the Doom film.
That film's.
I mean, it's nowhere near as scary as what Doom was scary. The original Doom game in the 90s.
Original Doom ain't scary. It's a shooter.
It was when you were 6.
I was playing Doom 3 when I was like 9, bro.
Yeah, I know you were, but I'm older than you. Like, I'm just saying, like, it was.
I've got a lot to say about Doom, but
it was the music. Alright, it was just the music in the original.
That music's all, like, cool though. It's like it's metal. It's just the Metallica.
But you're into horror. I was 6, 7 years old. Like,
Yeah, but that's not a horror soundtrack.
people like making you play a game that's scary.
Yeah, but that's not a horror soundtrack.
It's like, where am I? Anyway.
Yeah, but that's not a horror soundtrack. That's a metal sound. That's a hype soundtrack.
I know, but I'm just saying, young me didn't. I wasn't exposed to it. I was a very
so
sheltered
the
child.
BFG,
Right.
Metal Gear Ray, Metal Gear Rex,
Yeah.
the Shagger Hard.
I think RoboCop's gun. That's gun, cool. They designed that on their own. It's on the behind the scenes documentary. I'm not gonna fucking go into it because obviously the DeLorean, Back to the Future. That's a classic. But there's not really what's scary. Like, what really blows up everything? Is Godzilla a weapon?
No, it's a person.
But as a trope of horror, like horror science fiction.
If I fight someone, you're gonna be like, oh, Nick's
hang on,
a weapon.
Godzilla's a person.
What's a cat?
Do you mean to say
it's a figure?
But do you feel like, does Godzilla have a heart? Does it have a soul?
Physically has a heart. Yeah.
No, but does it have a soul?
Yes.
Does it have a conscience? Do you think when he's blasting people with his energy raw thing?
Well, no, because
you can't call an animal. You've made me angry now.
No, you can't call an animal a weapon.
But he's created from nuclear war, so he's inadvertently.
Yeah, but he's also it's a living thing. You can't call a living thing a weapon unless it's like the entire concept is a weapon.
So Universal Soldier, they're living human beings struggling with their.
No, they're a weapon because they've been designed for war.
Right.
They've been intentionally designed for war.
All right, because but hang on, Godzilla
was not intentionally designed.
No, but intentional is the operative word there, because if they had planned it, right, like I think the Bryan Cranston one goes a bit towards, or maybe they had this.
No, that is because they wake it up in.
Right, so they intentionally know it's a weapon.
They accidentally wake it up.
Right, but doesn't he have to fight all the other creatures?
Yeah, but that's because it's just what it's going to do. That's not a weapon. So it doesn't make it a weapon.
I kind of think Godzilla might be a weapon.
If someone wakes me up and like, you have to fight that guy.
Yeah.
I'm not a weapon. I'm just a guy who happens to fight.
Nick, I've heard some ladies look at you in the pub and they've got these weapons.
I'm not a weapon. Yeah. Godzilla is just a living thing that happens to fight.
Right. So
otherwise you're going like, oh, that box is he's a weapon. He's not a person.
All right. I've got a good one. What would win in a fight between the Death Star and the Ball Cube? Because that is difficult. I think still the Death Star, because it's got more. It would just blow it up because it would blow up planets. But I think the Ball Cube would give it a run for its money. Like that would be that's the nerdiest space battle ever. Ball Cube versus Death Star. What would win?
That would actually be a very difficult question.
I know, because it's really complicated. It's like you're trying to square a circle, if anything.
I'm going to say Ball Cube.
Come on.
What? Sorry.
I said it's like you're trying to square a circle.
I'm sorry, I missed that.
Yeah.
I was trying to think. I was thinking about.
Sorry, I was
thinking about the war. I would say Ball Cube purely because it takes about 20 minutes to shoot a Death Star.
Does it?
Well, yeah, because they can only fire once and they have to recharge.
Oh yeah.
Whereas the Borg is just like, we're just going to rock up and invade.
I assume, because this is another interesting trope of science fiction, right? So I'm sure some nerds have looked this up. Maybe I should look it up now. But what do you reckon's faster, warp speed or hyperspace? Because so they don't go to warp in Star Wars, do they?
No, they go to. Oh, I just think that's a different name for the same thing.
Yeah. But I've never seen them put the Death Star into warp or into like. What do they call it in Star Wars then? It must be a name for it. They couldn't have just taken.
They don't call it warp. I think they just call it like.
Is hyperspeed, or isn't it It's hypersexuality.
Hyperdrive?
Oh, I think you might be right. Hyperspace. Yeah. So it's hyperspace in Star Wars versus warp in Star Trek. Yeah. I wonder what's faster.
I always think they were just the same.
They're like going at the speed of light, basically. Yeah.
Well, because in Star Trek they've got different warps.
Yeah.
They got warp 1.
Yeah. They have that. And have you seen any of Discovery with the?
I'm gonna rewatch TNG, then I'll watch Discovery.
Have you rewatched TNG? Are you joking?
I love TNG.
How can you get through all of it? There's like 270
If
episodes.
only I couldn't Apparently, I wasn't allowed to leave the house.
All right, fair enough.
Not rewatch it, just rewatch a few episodes, kind of like, I want to watch something, because then I'll watch Discovery.
Yeah, Discovery is very good. But, right. So, this discussion was born out of the fact that I did watch Star Wars Rogue One, obviously the Mads thing, and also Donnie Yen.
It's the best Star Wars film.
It is good, right? But, yeah, so I was talking about Donnie Yen the other day, after watching him in this Star Wars film, because it is just him basically doing blind Ip Man in space. But his unique martial arts skills as he's a master of like the stick fighting and stuff, isn't he?
Well, he's a Force monk, I think.
But I'm just saying the actual character, the actual actor Donnie Yen is an expert in stick fighting martial arts. That's how he does all these things.
I'm assuming he's an expert in a lot of martial arts.
Yes,
Donnie
yeah.
Yen.
I mean, it's Donnie fucking Yen.
Highlander 3 star Donnie Yen.
Yeah, you keep mentioning that. Yeah. Isn't he in Blade 2 as well?
I might have not watched it.
I think you mentioned him in our previous podcast.
I've not watched that film.
You haven't seen Blade 2?
Oh, Blade 2. Oh, yeah, he's in Blade 2. I thought you said Blade Runner 2.
No.
I thought you said, yeah, he's Snowman or Iceman in Blade 2.
That's it, Iceman, yeah. Anyway, so weirdly, watched Rogue One. Next day.
No, Snowman, because Iceman's Val Kilmer in Top Gun.
Oh, fuck, yeah, he is. Oh, man, that's a real there's someone who's just got really angry.
Shout out to Val Kilmer.
Stop mentioning Val Kilmer.
I will never
Shittest Batman. And you...
Oh, he's my guy.
Fat man.
Oh, he's a great guy.
Right, anyway. So was watching Star Wars. Next day, boom. Ip Man trailer drops. And I was like, what is this? Because obviously loads of Ip Man films. Ip Man, Yip Man, as Nick wants to call him, is supposedly, in real life, the trainer of Bruce Lee. And
what do you mean supposedly in real life?
Well, it was. I'm just saying, like, I don't know a lot about it, but this is the
in real life, he was
in real life,
Bruce
he actually
Lee. Supposedly
trained Bruce Lee. Yeah, no, I'm just saying, like, go and watch the new trailer, because it's clearly, like, sort of Asia trying to create a new franchise. Like, kind of, I don't like it. I'll give you an example, right? So Ip Man in real life was the trainer, a legendary mixed martial arts trainer that trained people like Bruce Lee, and he was just really good at like close contact, like the 1-inch punch stuff. So like people, like you could just fight people in close quarters in ways and move in a way that nobody had ever seen.
I believe the correct term is double R.
Yeah,
he was double R.
Yeah, but so with this new trailer, which is fine. It wasn't as impressive as the original, when I think there's some of the opening scenes in the original Ip Man film, like they're genuinely so interesting in terms of choreography, and it reminds me of like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. The sort of sense of lightness and the sense of like, they're using all the wire techniques, and it's really technically impressive. Not only is like believing in a character that is this technically powerful and can do all this martial arts, but also just in the way that it's put together. But this film kind of like, if you go and watch a trailer, like, it doesn't really add anything to that. It just feels like they're trying to reboot it again. And it's weird because it's like the guy looks like Donnie Yen, but it's not Donnie Yen, and it's like, I was just a bit like, oh, what's the point?
So I don't think this has anything to do with Ip Man films. I think it's just a film about him, about Ip Man.
Yeah, and this is going to be my point. It's like culturally, this is a bit similar to like all the Cray twin films. It's like there's no legal intellectual property on real public figures that have been in the public domain, right? So anybody can make a film about them. But when you try to create a new franchise out of it, and someone's already done a really good job of it, like it inherently,
why bother?
Yeah. I was just like, well, good for you, but at the end of the day, like, it's still not going to be as good as those films, and it will just burn out and go to nothing. And it's like, it's okay, but Donnie Yen is Ip Man, and if I was Donnie Yen, I would have gone, you fucking killed me in Star Wars, and now I haven't got the Ip Man thing anymore. I'm not happy. It's lockdown 2020. Where's my fucking franchise? So Donnie Yen, solidarity with Donnie Yen. We've got your back, mate. And if you need any help, DM us. So yeah.
I love you, Donnie Yen.
Any thoughts on? Do you want to talk about Ip Man a little bit?
Other than just how cool it is.
It's just one of the coolest franchises. Like I was trying to think earlier of doing like, I was trying to think what The only other choreography I can think that stands up to it is Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Maybe a bit of The Matrix, but The Matrix isn't even as good as the choreography.
Choreography-wise, I can think of there's The Raid.
The Raid, and there's that film with the really epic one that I saw in cinema. Like it's got like armies and shit. There was like, oh, it's gonna bug me now. But we need to do a choreographed kung fu podcast. I think.
Well, I think the best fight choreography I've ever seen is The Raid and The Raid 2.
Yeah.
And nothing really stands out because I like more brutality.
Yeah. But I mean, in terms of how beautiful and like a sequence of movement. In terms of the blending of dancing and fighting, I think Ip Man is up there in the top 5, definitely. Like you can't have other films in the last 10 years without Ip Man's impact.
I'd still say, because I find, even though it is brutal, there is a beauty in the choreography.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm not disagreeing. So I'd say Raid 1 and 2 is top. Then I'd say Ip Man and Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon probably on par. But I haven't seen many of the sequels of it, man. Do they hold up?
They get better.
I think
they get better.
Really?
Yeah, they get better. One of them is fine.
Right.
Two's Twister. Which one has Scott Adkins in it? I think that's 4. I can't remember who's the bad guy in the third one.
Right.
But they're good. They're good films.
They should have had Donnie Yen versus Donnie Yen.
Oh, twin Donnie Yen.
Ip Man gets cloned. That should be, we'll write our own alternative Ip Man. You know, like in the 80s when they got Sean Connery to do an unofficial James Bond film. We'll get Donnie.
I did not know that.
He came back and he was fucking old. I'm not going to try and pretend I know how old he was, but he was old for a James Bond. And I want to do an unofficial Donnie and Ip Man where we just get an Ip Man crowdfunded and we just make it the most badass. It's like Ip Man in New York. He comes 1970s New York, crack, like heroin ghetto area of New York, and he has to fight his way out of an entire fucking crack block. Like, so we mix the Raid.
And it's 90 minutes long. That's just fine.
It's 90 minutes long, and it's one scene.
Beautiful. Perfect.
Yeah.
That'd be art. That's art. That's
bootleg.
That's an art house.
We'll call it bootleg. Yeah.
Bootleg Ip Man.
Yeah. Hang on. Pimp Man.
What about Yip Man? And it's spelt Y-I-P.
Yippee-ki-yay Man.
Yip Man.
Whatever you want.
Yeah.
This is your project now.
Oh, what?
Okay. Okay. I'm in a random mood today. So with the whole SpongeBob thing that we were discussing earlier, I know this is off-piste.
Yeah.
We've gone from it, man, back to SpongeBob, but I was thinking I want to do the Billy Zane. Did you just assume my gender? Voice actor Quiznik. So we have 13 of the most famous characters in the world, and you've got to guess whether or not they were male or female, given their male and female nature of the character that they voiced.
So I have to guess what the gender of the voice actor.
Yes.
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 Okay, cool.
So, are you ready? We haven't got any atmospheric music this week, so you don't like it.
No, I like the music. It was just the constant asking if that's my
final answer. Yeah, but the final answer bit's important. It's structurally.
But if the guy says it's my final answer, they skip that bit.
Fuck it. All right, fine.
Yeah.
Right. So most of these I'm not too impressed with. Like, I don't know any of the actors, but we're just gonna rifle through it, mate.
Let's go.
Tigger, male or female?
I'm gonna go with female.
Female. Why?
Because I'd assume it's a guy, so it's probably not a guy. It's the first one.
It is a bloke called Jim Cummings, and he's a bona fide voice acting legend. His voice has appeared in nearly 400 films. He's most famous for voicing Winnie the Pooh and Tigger, which he started doing in 1988 and continues to do so to this day.
Right. Next.
He also replaced Jeremy Irons as Scar in The Lion King. Interesting. So, sorry. Who played Bubbles in the Powerpuff Girls? Male or female?
Female.
Yeah, you're quite right.
Yes.
So it's Tara Strong. Strong's face might not be that
recognisable,
but if you're a fan of cartoons, you have definitely heard her. Her roles as Bubbles in the Powerpuff Girls and Timmy Turner in Fairly Odd Parents. She was Timmy Turner. are amongst her most notable. As well as appearing in film and TV, she also had voice talents to video games featuring in Metal Gear Solid.
Is she Femme Chef?
It doesn't say, but she probably is.
Yeah.
Bugs Bunny.
That's a woman, I'm pretty sure.
Bloke. Mel Blanc, whose nickname was the Man of 1,000 Voices, is kind of a big deal in the voice acting community and is noted as one of the most influential voice actors of all time. Blanc started out as a radio actor, but his role as Bugs Bunny in the Looney Tunes franchise is what he is most famous for, voicing the famous rabbit from 1960 to 1989. But Bugs Bunny wasn't all that he did. He was also the voice of all of your other favourite Looney Tunes characters, including Porky Pig, Daffy Duck, Foghorn Leghorn, I said, boy, Sylvester and Tweety, and a whole lot more. Wow, that's amazing. Scooby-Doo, man or woman?
Woman.
It was a man again!
Fuck, I'm trying
Frank Weller.
I'm trying to, play the system.
Yeah, he's most famous for playing our favourite mystery-solving dog, Scooby-Doo. Frank Welker, has voiced Scoob's pal Fred since the cartoon's inception, and in 2002 took over as the voice of Scooby himself. Welker can also be heard on the big screen, where he voiced the dragon in Shrek. Bart Simpson.
That's a woman.
That is a woman. That's Nancy Cartwright. She's the world's most famous 10-year-old, Bart Simpson. Cartwright has voiced the Little Yellow Rascal since the show's inception in 1989. She is also the voice of other characters from the show, including Nelson and Ralph. I can't do his voice. Cartwright hasn't just been in The Simpsons. She's voiced Chuck Finster in Rugrats. That's interesting. And Rufus in Kim Possible, making her voice acting royalty for show. Question 6. Tommy Pickles from Rugrats.
I think that's a woman.
You are correct. It is E.G. Daily. This is the face behind probably the most iconic baby from the 90s. E.G. Daily voiced Tommy Pickles on Nickelodeon's cartoon Rugrats from 1991 to 2004, as well as voicing the character in all 3 of the show's movies. She also voiced the kindergarten crime fighter Buttercup in the Powerpuff Girls. Not only has she lent her voice to TV, her voice starred in the pig-turned-sheepdog family favourite Babe. She was Babe. That's mad. Fry from Futurama.
I think that's a girl. That's a woman.
You're wrong again.
Fuck.
You're too out there, Nick. It's, don't, yeah. His name is Billy West. Most notable role is as the voice of space-travelling postal delivery boy Fry in Futurama.
West. Oh, fuck, I knew that as well, yeah.
Don't you stop Googling
No, I'm looking up Tara Strong and see.
Okay.
Oh, fuck. That was Jennifer Hale. That was Jennifer Hale in
okay.
Mass Effect.
West has also been the voice of Bugs Bunny and played the character in the movie Space Jam. That's pretty cool.
That's cool.
One of his most recognisable but slightly obscure roles is as the voice of the giant red M&M in the confectionery's TV advertisements. That's mad. So Fry from Futurama is also the red fucking M&M. If you were... Right, so... Penny from Inspector Gadget.
Girl? I thought you were
yeah, you're right, yeah. If you're a proud 80s and 90s, if you're around in the 90s and 80s, chances are you would definitely recognise Cree Summers. What's her name? Cree Summers. Voiced as the Penny from the cartoon Inspector Gadget. From those who are a little younger, Summer also voiced Susie Carmichael in the cartoon Rugrats from 1993 to 2000. A lot of Rugrats.
Yeah.
Rugrats was a big deal. We should do a Rugrats podcast.
Oh, fucking love that shit.
Yeah, if you want, mate. Anyway. Oh, she's also the voice of Catwoman in the DC world. Brain from Pinky and the Brain.
Guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's hard not to sing the iconic theme tune when you think of Pinky and the Brain. I bet you didn't recognise Rob Paulson.
Just quick, have you got most recognisable voices or voices you wouldn't know is a different?
No, I just googled who do you reckon is this then?
Because I feel like I'm going, okay, he's asking me that, so it can't be a guy. But you're probably just going on
no, I just have 13
voices.
of the biggest.
Yeah, okay, so that's why. Because I'm going for okay, well, it's definitely not going to be that. But if you're looking at most recognisable voices, it probably is the same gender as the voice.
Well, it is now. Okay, yeah, there's no more surprising.
Yeah, I was gonna say because I was constantly going through like, okay, well, it can't be a guy because that's why you're asking me, so it must be a woman. But if it's just a recognisable voice...
Do you know who voices SpongeBob?
Tom Kenny?
Yes. He's the voice behind the Krusty Krab's most valuable employee, SpongeBob. As well as SpongeBob, Kenny has starred in the cartoon Adventure Time, voicing the Ice King.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
And was the narrator in the Powerpuff Girls.
Is John DiMaggio in this list, or Hank Azaria?
No.
Really? I'd have thought John DiMaggio would be because he voiced Bender.
Oh, yeah.
And Hank Azaria is
Fucking
all
love
of The Simpsons.
Wow.
Yeah, well, I now know that there's no twist in any of these answers.
God damn it. Yeah, okay, fine. That brings it close.
I assumed you were asking because...
I mean, you lost the quiz, but I feel like I've lost more than you.
But that's because I was going for, what if he's asking me this question, it's definitely not that.
Yeah, alright.
But then it's just, a guy? Yes, it is a guy.
Next week I'll have a better quiz.
Yeah, because
whatever we do then,
yeah,
I will get a better quiz planned. I'm sorry, mate.
Speaking of voice actors...
Yeah?
We all like voice actors, apparently. Yeah. Who's your favourite voice actor?
Mark Hamill, probably. Just because of the Joker, and also just how much work Mark Hamill still does. Like, you know, he did Dark Crystal, he did, what's that other thing that I really like? It's really nerdy.
He played Goro Majima in Yakuza, the first one, the American version.
What's that, mate?
It's a video game.
That's the 5th video game reference you've dropped today. So,
to be fair, I talk a lot about video games.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to do a video game podcast, that's fine. We're covering all media because I don't know if you know, but my self-titled album has just dropped on Spotify. My folk rap album, my folk funk album, Drop It Till It's Cottage, is out now. No, it's not. No, but yeah, if you want to reference video games, all right. What's the worst video game to film thing? Obviously, there's E.T. back in the 80s.
What video? So is it film to video game or video game to film?
Whatever you want.
The worst video game, the worst film to video game is E.T. because that crashed video game.
I mean, that has its own.
I never played it, so I can't say it's the worst.
Right.
The worst one I ever played was probably Aeon Flux.
Right.
But I don't know why I played it. Worst video game to film. Fuck, I don't know. Maybe anything directed by Uwe Boll.
Who's he?
He directed House of the Dead, first one.
Right.
Blood Rain.
No, Benny. Postal.
Yeah, he's a terrible director. He did one good film though, which kind of upset me.
Right. I've heard of Postal. Is that a horror film?
No, it's a film about. The game is just shooting shit.
Right.
Yeah. But in terms of like the one I hate the most is Resident Evil, because Resident Evil the films are garbage.
Yeah. I mean, I like the first one, but that's still
so much. But that is purely a personal hatred.
Okay. Doom isn't very well done because they didn't make it an 18.
That is my favourite. Do you know why I love it? I do like that film though because the reason that you remember the film, right? Like,
yeah, vaguely.
There's a injection they can give you. There's something in blood.
Yeah, they can fucking move really fast and their head.
Because there's the first person when he's like
at the last 10 minutes.
He plays Judge Dredd.
Carl
Urban.
Right.
And it turns out basically it's like we can give this thing to you and it either turns you to a monster or a superhuman. But it turns out what it is that they get an extra chromosome.
Right.
And if you know basic biology, what is an extra chromosome?
Doesn't that give you Down syndrome?
Exactly. It gives you Down syndrome. So there's a bit where he injects himself.
So it's not called Doom, it's called Down.
It's called Down. So
in the font.
There's a bit where he injects himself, he looks over and he realises he's healed his cut. Well, I think it would have been better if he looked so the entire first person view.
No, you're going to be offensive.
He looks in the mirror and Carl Urban's just got Down syndrome. Because the entire thing is like, this will either make you a monster or a superhuman. It gives you an extra chromosome. So it just gives you either a monster or you become someone who's Down syndrome. And I think that would have been the perfect film where the entire time they're shooting these monsters and then Carl Urban has Down syndrome at the very end. And then it's just a first person view and the rest of the film
it's like, what?
It's just a guy with Down syndrome.
Oh my god, that is awful.
I think that would have been good.
I don't know what to say to that. That's a brilliant. Yeah, not good.
Yeah, voice actors.
Yeah, voice actors.
The one thing I do like about Mark Hamill that I really appreciate is like I can't tell it's Mark Hamill until I know it's him. Because there's a bunch of voice actors who they basically play the same role. Like John DiMaggio, the guy who plays Bender. There's a bunch of roles where he's just kind of playing Bender.
Yeah, they have their thing,
Mark
and they want
Hamill
that balance.
Doesn't have
cast.
his. Oh, it's Mark Hamill playing the character. I like he really makes a voice.
Well, I'm sort of such a fan of him now that I will pick up when it's him.
Oh yeah, but he's not playing himself.
Because there was another. It's really annoying me. There's Dark Crystal that he's done recently, and then there's another brilliant cartoon that he's done. And he does some great work. Anyway, sorry. I mean, I know I've picked a really.
This will be edited out. So.
Sorry. All right.
We'll edit this out.
Thanks. Work. I don't know. Yeah, and I mean, obviously, mostly I'm a fan of his Joker. Like, to me, he is the voice of the Joker. We've had, you can have your argument about Heath Ledger over Jack Nicholson.
Or Val Kilmer.
Nicholas. Val Kilmer was Batman. Talking about...
Oh, Joker. Val Kilmer.
No. Jack Nicholas. Is it Nicholas or Nicholson?
Jack Nicholson.
Nicholas is the golfer.
I don't know who Jack Nicholson is.
Jack Nicholson
is Jack Nicholson. As in The Shining.
Right. Yeah. Jack Nicholson is also very famous. Shout out Jack Nicholson. He was big in the 70s.
So was Jack Nicholson. he was probably bigger than Jack.
No, this guy was quite rounded. He was quite a rotund.
Nicholson. He's in The Shining.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So Mark Hamill has done things that I agree with, and therefore I'm a fan of his. And clearly, I don't know that many. All right. I'll give you a random one. Not really. What? Is there a big difference between a voice actor and an impressionist? Because can I say that like Phone Jacker / Face Jacker is a good voice actor? Because we just chatted on off air. I'm saying like we're a radio station. Off air. Like I was saying, also another great vocal performance in pop culture history.
Yeah, he's a voice actor because he plays characters. He plays characters.
I didn't say it. Anyway, is James L. Jones because of Mufasa and Darth Vader? I'm just saying, like, would you consider someone like a comedian that does that for a living? Is he still a voice actor? He's doing the same thing.
I wouldn't say James L. Jones is a voice actor.
No, I wouldn't.
He's an actor,
stage and screen.
For me, it's like if you're voicing a cartoon character and that is your job, like you're known for that, you're a voice actor. If Leonardo DiCaprio did like a role in a Disney film, he's not all of a sudden a voice actor.
No.
He's just
James L. Jones voiced those characters.
He voiced me.
But in terms of that performance, I think he's up there because
Star Wars.
He's one of the most recognised and scary voices of all time.
Yeah, but because that is an actual person playing it, and he's just doing the voice behind it because they're not. They're not
James L. Jones.
They're not moving the lips.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that's voice acting. He's just the voice of that guy.
Right.
I wouldn't say that's voice acting.
Okay.
For me, that has to be
doesn't. But does that dispute whether or not we can debate where that is at in terms of the greatest performances? Like that's what I'm saying. I don't think there's a more famous vocal performance than Darth Vader's voice. I don't think there's anything more as famous than it. Do you know what I mean? Like because it is just one of the most famous voice acting roles in the world.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't say, but there's like.
But he's the number one villain.
Could you make the argument if someone's face is covered in shadow the entire time? Oh, and someone did the voice for it. That's voice acting.
Well, that particular, I wouldn't say James Earl Jones therefore becomes this just known as a voice actor. But I would say like it's the most famous vocal performance.
Yeah, but he's not known for voice acting.
No. He's not. That's only because he's equally successful in other things.
Yes.
Which I don't think is the same as saying like. If I went
when he did Mufasa, he was voice acting. When he did Darth Vader, he was not voice acting. He was just giving a voice to a character, to a actor.
Right.
Because he could have just been there in the suit. He couldn't have been there dressed as a lion.
Yeah, I feel bad about that. There's a behind the scene, mate. What is it? They're building an empire. I banged on about it before in one of these podcasts, and the guy that plays Darth Vader physically, because he's like 7 foot tall.
Oh yeah,
he's like, and he says his voice, but he's from like Yorkshire or like Birmingham or something.
Yeah,
and it's like I was really hoping that they'd use my voice, but they went with James.
Oh yeah, it's like how Jabba the Hutt was originally just a guy.
Oh wait, maybe I've just fucking got
Jabba the Hutt
maybe...
was originally just a guy. No, I think you.
No, I think I might.
Jabba the Hutt was just a guy, a fat guy.
Right.
Because there's just footage of him talking because he's dressed up like, oh, I'm a crime lord.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a stand-in voicing. It was just like, this is Jabba the Hutt. And it's just some fat guy.
Wow.
Being like, oh, Han Solo, you thought you could trick me, but you can't. And then they were like, yeah, this is a fucking terrible thing. We need to make him like a monster.
Maybe. Yeah, that was weird. Star Wars is weird. So I've gone from the most mainstream, Mark Hamill with Joker and his various large scale roles. You're more knowledgeable in this area, mate. What are your picks?
You have more interest in voice acting than I do.
I know, yeah, but that's only because I think I can.
For me, it's mainly just like video game people, like Jennifer Hale is a really good femme shep, but like I don't know, I can never tell her voice or anything like that.
What do you mean by femme shep?
Female shepherd in Mass Effect.
Right, okay.
Because you can pick man.
No, I understand, but please don't.
Femme shep is the best choice to make.
Please don't assume that I know what femme shep means. It could be a very dodgy.
No, but this
I think it's like feminist shepherd's pie.
It is, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But yeah, she's like femme shep is she's the best choice to make in that game purely because she's a better voice actor. But I don't really know much about voice actors.
Okay. I just think it would be fun. I just think personally, I would like to do it as a job because you're just doing silly sounds and get paid loads of money.
I can't.
Some people actually can't, they can't gauge certain technical elements to it, like pitch or like just in the way that you can deliver a line, which I find very odd because it comes to me quite naturally, and then it's sort of like there's a part of your brain that can do it or you can't. It's like with geography. It's like being able to know where you are all the time. Like
a sense of direction. Like, I'm bad. Yeah, I can't tell. I can't do this stuff.
Oh right.
Like at all.
I'm exceptionally talented at most things. I'm only joking. I only believe that. Nobody else does. But yeah, I mean, we've gone from SpongeBob to Star Wars to It Man through a voice actor guise today. Do you have anything else you want to add to this kind of smorgasbord of a podcast?
No, I'm good.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm solid.
Yeah, I think I'm solid too.
Solid Snake, Metal Gear Solid.
Oh man, 7th gaming. Please check out Nick's new gaming podcast live on Twitch every Friday, where he'll be streaming and gaming and talking about femships.
It would basically just be Resident Evil 4 in the loop.
Right. Is that what you've been playing during lockdown?
That's what I've been playing the last 10 years of my life.
I've just been playing Mario Kart, which
Mario's fucking great.
I can now get first on Rainbow Road pretty much every time.
Against real people or AI?
Well, against the AI, but also real people.
Oh, okay.
I'll play you at Mario Kart if you want.
No, I'm alright.
Right, fine. Well then, on that note, this has been the Final Cut Half Cut with me, Jason, and old Nikolai over there.
Howdy.
Howdy. Peace.
Thank you for having me.
Cheers.